What I'm going to talk about is what I think the future entrepreneur is. And I am hopefully going to give you some transformative strategies to be that future entrepreneur. But I'm going to challenge you to unlearn everything you've been taught the last decade, because I think it's completely wrong. Why should you trust me? Well, I grew up fixing things with my dad. He was a mechanic. My mom was a teacher. I saw that the best mechanics, and my dad said, don't be a mechanic, they don't make any money. Be a mechanical engineer. And I saw the best went to MIT, so I said, I want to go to MIT. But I didn't have the financial means to do that, so I set my sights on the Air Force Academy until all of a sudden I got the rejection letter. But I knew in my heart of hearts that I was going to the Air Force Academy. And I told my parents, I'm going. And they're like, oh no, she's crazy. She's gone mad. You need to apply somewhere else. And I said, no, I'm going. I trusted my gut. 2 weeks before basic training started, I got the letter. I was accepted. I graduated top in my class, and as the universe would have it, I got a Draper Fellowship to go to MIT as a second lieutenant. So I actually was paid by the taxpayers, thank you, to go.
Money well spent.
Yes. So with that, I then was in the Air Force. I got to be the chief engineer for ultra-secure communication satellites that operate in GEO, called MILSTAR. The Air Force was downsizing at the time, and I wanted to be stationed with my husband, who was a pilot, so I got out and started scaling a company that was not my own, and helped work them up. We actually drew on napkins the first constellation of Earth-orbiting satellites to image anywhere on the planet within 5 minutes. And I've got boxes that have docked to the space station. I've launched over 5 satellites, lots of cool stuff. But guess what? It wasn't my passion, and it wasn't my purpose, and it wasn't my business. So in 2011, I moved to the great place here, Charleston, South Carolina, and hung my shingle for Dynepic. So 1122 Folly Road, we had our business location, and I had the most amazing creative space. I had a little lab, I had a 3D printer, I had electronics equipment, and I was inventing products. It was my purpose, it was my passion. I'm a creator. I started inventing products. I reinvented the handle that's launched on a bunch of sports equipment, so it's like the OXO of the sporting business, Dynepic Sports. So that's been a very successful product business that's still run out of my sister-in-law's garage, but it scaled very well. But then in 2014, I got to pitch my purpose for Dynepic at the Wild Pitch here at Dig South. I was in the Harbor Entrepreneurship Center's cohort 1, and I won the Wild Pitch in 2014. It's a full circle moment to be back here today and share with you my journey. Today, Dynepic powers the future of multidimensional knowledge for a better tomorrow. Our biggest clients are the US military and Fortune 50s. And that's why maybe these tidbits that I've learned the hard way, I hope you listen to. So number 1, overcome self-doubt. I would ask you to get out of your head. Sometimes I would ask myself, oh, I think my investors want me to do this. They probably don't. That's just a version, something you're telling yourself. So what I'd say is, get out of your head. Trust your intuition. Like I knew I was going to the Air Force Academy back in the day. I've learned the best wisdom I get in business is by trusting my intuition. That little voice in your head that you don't know where it comes from, that's what you should listen to. That's what's going to make you unique. So what I'd say is, if you want a tactical way to know this, ask yourself, is this my brain or is this my heart? Am I operating from fear, aka my brain, or am I operating from knowing, which I believe comes from the heart? And don't wear the weight of other people's opinions. Yes, they might have great feedback, but when you know something, know it, own it, and live it. That could be your special gift you're giving to the world. And what I challenge you to do every morning to kind of like cement this is journal. So get your coffee, get your tea, stay in the silence. The first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, write down on a piece of paper, what should I focus on today for my highest good and my business's highest good? Write it down. And then sit in that silence and kind of feel what the answers are. I guarantee you, through that journaling and through that calm, quiet knowledge that you'll gain, you're going to know that next perfect step that you should take in this moment today. Because every big business is built by those small steps that are started one step at a, or one feeling, one sense of knowing at a time. Number 2, focus on yourself. You have 1 billion problems until you have a health problem. And then you have one problem, your health. I faced this. When I was lived here in 2018, 2019, I was going blind and I couldn't get off the couch. I didn't know I had a black mold problem in our 6-year-old house, but we did. And it was causing me to go blind. I had to really learn how to focus back on myself so I could also focus on the business. And I will say, I am now back here 6 years later and feeling awesome. But make sure, if you need to go to the gym, go to the gym. If you need to take some time for yourself, take that time for yourself. Don't own the judgment like my investors expect me to work, or I should really be working on the company more. No, in order for you to serve your employees, serve your customers, and ultimately serve your investors, you need to focus on yourself. Number 3, align your business purpose with your soul's mission. Make sure whatever you do in business is aligned with who you are and who you want to be and what you really care about. If you align your business mission with your soul mission, you can overcome any challenge. You'll enjoy working on it, and you'll pour all of your energy into it, and it will be fun, even when you're faced with those insurmountable problems. But make sure that you're aligned. For me, I had a great investor that had me sit down, and he basically helped me find what is my purpose as a human in this world. And he found that I really wanted to make impact to 1 billion people's well-being. That's what I really wanted to do as a human. And Dynepic's vision as a company is to level up humanity. And even my sports company, while it's a little bit small, is to help people become their best self when they're training at the gym. So everything I'm doing is aligned with that purpose that I have. And I have great passion for it because of that. Number 4, master challenges with a new mindset. I'll read a quote. I will love the light, for it shows me the way, yet I will endure the darkness, for it shows me the stars. Even when you love something, there's always challenges. And sometimes through those challenges, there's great lessons that you'll learn about yourself, and they'll reflect something back to you. But maybe you're going to grow to the next level of as a human being and an entrepreneur that you need because your business is going to scale, and you needed that lesson for the next evolution. So I challenge you to look at every resistance and see what it teaches you. What's it reflecting to you? And be grateful for it. Some things are hard because, you're being defrauded, you're being personally slandered, maybe you've got competition that's doing things that unethically. What is it teaching you? What are you stepping into? What are you becoming? And how can you be grateful about it? Because it's showing you something. So always ask, what is this trying to show me? And then ask yourself, how is this working for my highest good? Perhaps it is. Perhaps that closed door means you're going to turn to the right, and that other door that's going to open is the exact door you need to walk through. So always realize that sometimes hardship is necessary. And so don't take it personally, and always just step back and say, okay, what's this trying to show me, and how's this working for my greatest good? If you don't know and you're lost, I recommend you meditate on it or you sleep on it. And that 2 a.m. wisdom that you get, I used to think came from my brain processing everything. I actually think it comes from my higher self into my soul and tells me where I need to go. So I think whatever you believe, those 2 a.m. nuggets that you get, make sure you listen to them and ponder them and really synthesize them through your soul. Number 5, flow versus force. Hopefully y'all know Ohm's law. So current equals voltage over resistance. So current is the flow of electric charge through a conductor. And voltage is the push of those electrons forward, right? And then resistance is slowing the electrons down and creating friction. So if you could imagine voltage pushing amperage and resistance kind of trying to slow them down. Well, I think the same goes with business. Flow equals your passion or energy over resistance. So the current is the effortless movement towards your purpose, right? So your flow through life. The voltage is your passion and energy, so that's pushing you forward in your business. And the resistance is forcing outcomes or ignoring your intuition. And what happens if you push too hard? Just like the resistive wire that sits in the back, the defroster in your back car window, that's a resistive wire. So the resistance is high, it's pushing a very high voltage, right? So a lot of force, and it creates heat. And I believe that heat becomes burnout. And I believe there's a better way. If the universe seeks the lowest energy state, why can't we be entrepreneurs and be in the lowest energy state? Why do we have to push an effort? Do you want to be the waterfall that is just flowing? Or do you want to be the dam trying to hold it back until you can't anymore and you're just burnt out? I recommend that you embody flow and trust the universe's most powerful principle. Nature also teaches us, though, that change is the one constant. Embrace it. When you're struggling or when you're trying to figure out where to go next, or as you're operating during your day, ask yourself, what's the most fun thing I can do right now? And then, if you're not doing it, close your computer and go do it. I honestly believe you'll have the passion and the energy for those work items if you go and follow those things that you want to do in the moment. I've made a practice of this year, and I will tell you, everything has gotten done. Everything has been great. The slides or the board meeting or the client meeting, everything has been fantastic. My employees, maybe not see me for an hour because I went and took a walk in nature. But it's absolutely the thing that helps me then center and then give back my time and energy to the business. Number 6, see the future and let it become. Meaning, see what you want out of this future, out of your business. I actually have a knowing that I'm going to IPO one day. And I tell some people that, and they think I'm crazy, but I've seen it for years. Feel into that future, right? So you see something that you know you want. I say, don't put limits on it. Don't put bounds on it. Just feel into what that feels like to be there. And then just like the universe puts out things, you're putting that out as heart energy into the universe. Let it come to you. Let it manifest. It's going to be bigger and more powerful. It's going to have the biggest impact on your life. And it's going to be greater than you could have ever known. Your path is lit by you. Light it, ignite it, and go. I believe when you're following your purpose, you're giving back to this world exactly what it needs. And I hope every one of you has a chance to actually live your purpose through whatever you do every day. So what's next for us? At Dynepic, I want to level up humanity. We're super successful supporting the US government and businesses, enterprises, education. I'm going to be launching the commercial big play because I think the future has a new platform, a new consciousness, and a new way to live. And I believe that we can power it, just at least a small part of it, at Dynepic. So that's what I'm doing to live my purpose. And I thank you for your time.
Wow. Retired life coach just got a ton of great wisdom for you. Let's hope that we got 5 minutes for questions. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. So I loved everything that you did so much, and we're going to get your deck, right? Your deck
Yes.
has all this. So I emailed myself some of the things, and it's so interesting about aligning your business purpose with your soul's mission. So my mission is to leave the world a better place than I found it. How does one find their soul's mission?
I think it's all personal. Some people are just meant to be artists and bring us beauty. I think some people are meant to be gardeners and provide that way. So I think it just really depends on the person. And don't think that your mission or your purpose is small. Everybody providing their part in this world is actually, I think, the most beautiful tapestry we can create.
I've got a question.
Great, awesome.
So how does it feel to come back 12 years later to Dig South after winning our very first wild pitch and then staying there where you are today?
Fantastic. Definitely a full circle moment. And I feel like I wanted to make sure this talk is what I wish I would have been told 10 years ago. Because obviously my past is perfect. I don't judge any of it. But I go, what can I give back to this next group of entrepreneurs and maybe challenge them to be a little bit different, maybe even challenge the VCs and the angels to be a little bit different, right? Because I think our future is changing very fast. AI is going to change everything. And as it does, people are going to lose their jobs and they're going to sit back and say, what do I do now? And I think we're all going to be coming back together as humanity and figuring that out. And that's obviously where I want to play with our company and business. But absolutely, it's been fantastic to be back. Thank you for having me back, be a pitch judge, and everything. So
Great, awesome. Next question, right over here.
So, how do you reconcile where if you've made a decision or you're heading in a direction and you're completely certain that's the right direction, but there's a whole bunch of other people who are equally smart who are saying you're crazy? Like, how do you reconcile that?
So luckily I have red hair, so they already think I'm crazy. So I will say I presented my future for Dynepic to my board, and 1 out of 3 pretty much thought I was crazy. But it's because the world's changing so fast, and I do think they're bold moves is what is going to be the winners of tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So if it's in your heart, and you know you're operating from your heart, don't wear the weight of those opinions on you. Just say, I'm going to own this one, right? And get your supporters, surround yourself with the people that support you, and go.
I love it. Okay, here, get a good microphone.
How do you keep your team aligned around your vision? Yeah.
Great question. How do you keep your team aligned around your vision?
Well, set a vision first, right? Ours is to level up humanity. Make sure we're holding each other to it. That's the other one, right? If the business starts going in a direction that's not leveling up humanity or not creating a better tomorrow, then we need to correct, because I don't want to be part of that business. And then 2, just communicate. But I think if they start to believe in that vision too, they start to own it in their ethos, and then it becomes part of them as well. So